If you've ever used note blocks before, you probably know that if you want to make anything advanced, you have to make these massive redstone machines just to play a simple song. But today I've added super note blocks. They allow you to put multiple notes inside of one block. You can make anything from a simple doorbell to an entire song all inside of one block. The first thing you need to do is craft one. To do that, you'll need 8 note blocks and a redstone block. So it's kind of like the note block recipe, except instead of planks, you're using note blocks, and instead of redstone dust, you're using a block of redstone. So it's just like this, and you get a super note block. So it acts just like a normal block. You can place it down, and it will look like this. If you don't do anything with it, then playing it will do nothing. I can power it, nothing. So what you have to do is right-click it, and it'll open up this GUI. Now, as you can see, it's pretty long, I guess. So you'll probably want to reduce your GUI scale. I'll put mine down to 2. Now, as you can see, we can pretty much see the whole thing on one screen. So this is what it looks like, and as I mentioned before, you can put multiple notes in here. So if you just start clicking the blank spaces, it will add notes. And I've just kind of put notes, but, now if I power it, it plays a bunch of notes. Now, obviously, that doesn't really sound good. It's the same note played over and over, and you might not really understand why when they're going to actually play. So for now, I'm going to just get rid of this one. Place a brand new one. So the way this works, there are a bunch of options up here that do different things. Then there's all these empty buttons, they can hold notes, but when you just place a new one down, it's not going to have any notes in it. So the way this works is, as it goes to the right, that's different ticks, and then as you go down, that's just more notes on that tick. So this slot would probably be the first one that you want to add something to. I'm just going to click it, and as soon as I power it, it plays a note. Just one note, because I only added one. If I keep adding more notes this way, then you can hear it plays multiple notes in a row. If I add notes this way, it plays a really loud note at the start, because it's actually just playing a bunch of notes at the same time, and then it's playing these. So it might be hard to visualize, but you can think of it as soon as you power it, then it immediately plays all of these notes in this row. No, sorry, this column. This entire column of notes is played. And then a 20th of a second later, which is a game tick later, it will play this whole column of notes. And then the next tick, it'll play this whole column of notes. So all you really need to know is, you can think of it as like playing this column, and then very shortly after it plays this whole column of notes, and then very shortly after it plays this whole column of notes. And of course, if a slot is empty, it's not actually going to play a note, but you could, play up to 16 notes at a time, because there are 16 layers here. I'm going to remove, and I haven't really shown you how to remove notes, but I guess you can kind of see what I'm doing. You simply click the remove notes button, and then it will tell you you're removing notes up here. And then as you click notes that already exist, it will get rid of them. So you could hear notes playing, but it was really all the same note. So to change that, you can use all these other settings up here. So these buttons at the very top here they do what they say they do. You can scroll to the beginning, you can scroll left, you can stop, you can play from beginning, and you can scroll right. And remove notes, which I already mentioned. Those aren't really useful right now because I don't have any notes. So down from there, you have these black keys. So these are really black keys on a piano. You have F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. They're all sharps, no flats, because I guess I don't really know how they work. Maybe it would depend on the key you're in, and I don't know what key you're in, so I don't know if you would use the flat symbol or not, but it's just all sharps, because that was easier for me. But anyway, these are the black keys on a piano, or they would be if it was a piano. And then below it would be all the white keys. So just, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. There's exactly this many notes, because that's the range that you can play Minecraft sounds, at least in vanilla Minecraft. And then below that, you have volumes. So you can, set a volume. You can do like quiet, be 6% volume, 12.5% volume, all the way up to 100%. And then you get instruments. So these are the different instruments. So you don't just have to stick with a the harp, which is what it was playing before. And then these are just play from certain ticks. But I'll actually begin by placing like actual notes. So the way you actually choose the note is you click basically the things you want. At the very top here, you can see it says instrument dirt block, key F# 4, volume 1. Now the 1 is basically 100%. If I click these other volumes, like 50, it says 0.5. This one is like 0.125. I know it's a little bit weird, but basically 1 is just full volume, and then closer to 0 would be silent, but you can't actually put any silent notes. But you can see it's basically the percentage divided by 100. So the 93.75% is just 0.9375. So that's how you can know the volume of the like selected note. I'm going to put it to 100, which is 1 up there. A key F# 4, that's this note. I'm going to set it to C4 by clicking that. And now, as you can see, it changes to C4. And I'm going to leave it on harp. Now when I add notes to the whole grid here, it's adding C notes instead of F# notes. And I can show you removing notes again. I put it in red so you don't accidentally start placing and then realizing why is it removing notes? But it's because you can either select like a setting, like a volume or an instrument or something like that, or you can simply click the trash icon again and then you'll stop removing notes. But anyway, let's go to harp. Okay, so I'm gonna put C, D, E. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Did I? Okay. So this is just a scale. Now if I play it, kind of played fast, but it played a scale, a C major scale. Play from beginning will just do that without you having to like power it with redstone, because it might be a little bit annoying having to leave the GUI, get some power source and then place it down. So you can just click this button and it plays it. Pretty simple. You can also stop playing in the middle of it if you use this button. Like I can stopped it early. Now I guess I'll add like another instrument. So I'll try to add like a bass. Let's see if does this sound good? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it should sound good. Anyway, let's add like drums or something. So I can do like a jump. Oh, I didn't show you. I didn't show you what I was doing. So I'm scrolling right here. So as you can see, there's 16 notes or 16 like ticks on a screen at once. So it does these notes, and you see this note is here. But if I scroll right, now I get this new set of notes. So I could continue that scale, C5, D5 with this, keep going. So I've added notes, and now if you listen to the scale, it continues a little bit more. So really just like this note right here, or I guess this whole column of notes, comes right after this on the first screen. So it's basically just scrolling through the song. There is no limit to how far you can scroll. Like I can scroll for, and yeah, it does flash the screen whenever you click something. There's not really much I can do about that, but yeah, so I can add like another note out here. Actually, let's add a bunch of notes. So now if you listen, it'll be silent for a while, but eventually okay, so then it played those notes. Anyways, the point is you can just you can scroll through the song and you can go to different, you can go really, really far from the start. And then you can use this button to scroll to the beginning, and now it's just at the very beginning. So, yeah, let me add one more note because I never added this. Okay, actually, I don't really like these last harp notes. I don't know, that doesn't really sound perfect, but whatever. There's these play from this tick, which you can probably guess what that does, but I'll show it anyway. So if you click this, it's really the same as clicking play from beginning. But if I play from here, you notice it missed the first notes. If I play from all the way over here, it kind of only played like the second half. And of course, if you play from very end, it plays the last notes. and nothing else. So that's useful if you're like really deep, like into a song, like you're like 30 seconds into a song and you're still adding notes, and you want to, you want to listen to it, but you don't want to have to listen to that whole 30 seconds by clicking play from beginning and waiting 30 seconds before you get to the part of the song you're actually working on. So you can just play from wherever you are, really, using these buttons. But there is no way to do that with powering with Redstone. Powering it with Redstone will always start over the song from the very beginning, even if it's already playing. Like, I have this other song here, so it's playing, but if I step on the pressure plate again, it just started over. So yeah. And also, I haven't showed this yet, but you can, if you place a block on top of it, it stops playing. So it's kind of like a real note block. I give this one, like, it's playing notes, but I put something on top of it, and it stops playing notes. Where, you can't hear it at least. So this one, it actually will stop the song. So yeah, anyway, I just added those features so that you don't have to like go in menus, like right-clicking it in order to actually use it. I want you to, like, I want this to be like automated with Redstone, so you can actually use this in like builds, like I've shown here, like a doorbell, where it will just, automatically play by being powered with Redstone. So that's why I've added those features, but I haven't really gone over the volume thing. You can probably guess what it does, but you just click the volume, and now the new notes you're placing will be with that volume. And then I'll make that last one louder. So now if you listen, I guess I don't know if you could tell, but this note here, that one was louder at the very end than all the ones before it. You probably know what, the volume would do, because it just, if it's at 50%, it'll play at half volume. It'll be a little bit quieter. And so that's useful if you, add like a bunch of notes and then you realize that one of your, or at least, hopefully you'd notice it quickly, because you'd have to replace all those notes. But you might notice that, oh wow, these notes are too loud, and you can't hear this other thing that you're supposed to be able to hear. Or oh, maybe the volume's too low. You're like, oh, I can't hear this at all. I need to make it louder. You can't go above 100% volume or anything. So just, I guess, if you want to be careful and not have to worry about wanting, oh well, you can just add multiple of the same exact notes. Like if I wanted to make the bass really loud, I could just 100% volume, place like extra notes of it. That's a G, and back to C, and now it's like, wait, oh, it's already power. I was confused, like, why is it not working? It's just other power. Anyway, now if you listen to the bass, I don't really know if you could tell, but it's like it's a lot louder compared to everything else now. So that's really it for like how to actually use it. There's really, it is pretty simple. You can use it for a lot, because you can add endless notes until it starts lagging, I suppose. But yeah, that's really it for how this thing actually works. I think I showed everything, and you can play up to 16 notes at a time. And yeah, there's no limit to how long you can make a song, so you can make really long songs. One other idea I had was you could have some sort of quiz challenge, and you have to guess the correct answer. So you can be like, is this it? Nope. Is this it? Nope. Is this it? And then that one was correct. Obviously there's no question here, so that doesn't really make any sense, but it's just like, this isn't really even like an advanced thing. It's super simple. This literally has 4 notes, and this has 8 notes. But it's so simple, and yet it's and this is kind of, this, you could make this with real note blocks, but you'd have to make like repeaters and put multiple note blocks, and it can take up a lot of space. But this is just a single block, and it works just as well. So yeah, I don't know. This is a pretty simple idea. There is other stuff you can sort of do, not really in the game itself. This song that I had here, it's the slider theme from Mario 64, but I actually didn't really make this manually by putting the notes in with this. I actually generated it, so that's something you can do. I do have some other songs that I made, and I will show you soon how you can generate these super note blocks from NBS files, which are note block songs. I've done this before with my piano in Minecraft, but this is different because, you know, it's a note block, like block, I guess. And, you know, it works differently. This isn't really the same thing. But one thing I actually didn't show you was if you make, you know, something, and this is what it sounds like. It sounds random, but if you break the block, the item you get remembers the song. So you can place it somewhere else, and it has the song. And so you can basically just, and it's really stored in the item, so you can do anything with the item you want. You could give it to someone, I guess you could give it like, hey, I made this song for you, and you give it to your friend, and they're like, oh, wonder what it is, and then they can place it down and listen to it. Hopefully you won't give them something like that, but, you know, an actually good song, it would be fun. Anyway, I did make some other songs by generating them. So the slider one. Anyway, I already showed you the slider one. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this one because it's causing lag. Because, you know, with big ones like these that you like generate from files, well, I mean, it's not because of that, but since they're big, they do actually lag the game a bit. And it can also lag by simply having them in your inventory while you're editing one. It's a little bit weird, but you have to be kind of careful if you make, you know, big ones like this. But other than that, you know, you can really put anything in these. So you already heard that one. I don't really think I'll play them in full, but okay. So I have this other one called "Mike the Board, Please," and yeah, that's the actual name of the song. I didn't really I made the note block version, but I didn't make the original song. Anyway, this is what it sounds like in here. Well, okay, hold on. Yeah. What I was saying about lag. Clicking on them actually can cause lag sometimes, like lag spikes. So you might notice that if you have big songs. But for now, I'm just going to actually power it with redstone. I don't have to, but I'm going to anyway. So if you've played Deltarune Chapter 3, you'll probably recognize that song. Otherwise, it's, you know, just a song. Then I also have this one. Most people should probably recognize this one, although I have to power it. Actually, this one's quiet, so I'll make it a bit louder. Actually, I'm not going to finish this one, but anyway, it's Turkish March by Mozart. So, yeah, this is what they look like. So this is a guitar and cowbell. So, actually, I never explained this. It's just these are the blocks that you would put under note blocks to make them make these instruments if you were using real note blocks. So the chime uses a packed ice, the bell uses a gold block, the cowbell uses a soul sand, guitar uses wool. Doesn't have to be white wool, but I just picked white wool. Playing uses glowstone and all these blocks. You can't tell anything else like I never really showed this, but you can see by hovering over it the key, the volume, and the layer. You might have noticed that, but yeah, you can kind of tell what they are by just looking at them. Anyway, so that's really it. I'm now going to show you how to actually convert NBS files into these. So this is NoteBlock Studio. It's a software, I didn't make it or anything, but it's a software where you can make note block songs, and it's actually very similar to what you were seeing in the game. Like I could do my scale. Oops. And then I can play it back. Actually, I'm going to set this to 26 per second, but anyway. So I guess I could make like this. Well, I don't want to make the same thing I made before. Let's like make something. Well, I'm not going to use the song I make here, but I will point out some limitations. So the first thing is that all the notes have to be within the 2-octave range of, I guess, Minecraft. So that means F#3 to F#5 are the only notes you can use. By default, I think the software will actually look like this, so it'll show you which ones you can't use. So you can just, stick to ones in this range. And also, it will only use the first 16 layers. So, like, these notes will be included, but anything beyond that, it just won't even include in the in-game version. Also, note panning doesn't do anything. And same with like layer panning. It won't do anything because that doesn't really exist in my version. Volumes will work. You know, you can change the volume and velocity, but it's kind of going to like round it to a nearby value because I only give you, I think, like 16 options in game. So I kind of round it to one of those. You probably won't notice that because 16 options is still quite a few. So you can get pretty much any volume you want, but it's not quite as precise as in this software. You can't use custom instruments. No, yeah, it won't use those. So yeah, you really can't do custom instruments. And the tick rate it can kind of, there will be more options when you use my converter, but if possible, I'd recommend just keeping the tick rate 20 ticks per second. I suppose if you want to, you can do 10 or something like that, but faster than 20 might have issues with, like it might miss notes if they're playing too fast, and lower than 20 I guess would work, but it also might, anything other than like 20 or 10 might make it sound a little bit off time, or it will round it to like 10 or 20 or something that would sound normal, I guess. But other than that, that's really it. I think you can make the songs as long as you want. I guess it does work well, like looking at this, if it says data pack is compatible, then pretty much it's good except for the more than 16 layers one. Other than that, if it says data pack only or fully compatible, which, oh yeah, it's the tempo. Yeah, that says fully compatible. Anyway, I'm not actually going to use this one. I'm going to use this song, which I'll play it here. I'm sure most of you know what this song is. So in the description, you'll find a link to this Python file I've made, which will convert the NBS files into commands that you can use in Minecraft. You will need, to run commands, so you kind of need like command blocks. But yeah, I'll run it, and you can't see it. Okay. So it asks you to enter the NBS file name without extension. So that's type Mario because that's the name of it without the .nbs. Then press enter, use analog tempo. So this is if you say yes, it will try to make it match the tempo in the NBS file exactly, although it might sound a little bit kind of off time. I guess it could like remove notes if the tempo was too fast or something. It doesn't matter because the tempo in the file is already exactly 20 ticks per second. I'm going to hit no anyway. And then it says successfully saved 4 commands to export_mario.txt. Now, you have to be warned, if you have too big of a song, it'll still generate the commands, but it'll tell you that you can't paste them into a command block because they're too long, or at least one of them is too long. So you have to be careful about that. If you have, a massive song that's really long, it probably won't be able to fit in the command blocks. So you have to just make it shorter, I guess. But anyway, now I have this txt file. And now loading into here, you can see this is what it generates. It's, a lot of text. So all you have to do is first, in game, you place down a super note block. Then you get a command block. And then you get some way to power it. So you want to copy the first command and put it in the command block and run it. Now, okay, it did actually play one note. But anyway, it's not going to work unless you run all the commands. So I'll go back in here. I grab the second command, paste it, run it. Grab the third command, paste it, and Control-Alt. You don't paste what's in addition to what's already there. You overwrite what you already pasted last time. And then run it. Then you have to run it every time. And then, and by the way, what this will do is it'll, I guess, change the nearest super note block within 10 blocks of the whatever is running it. In this case, the command block. So, actually, that's it. So yeah, that's what it'll do. But anyway, now, if I play this... Yeah. So it's playing the Mario theme now. That's really about it. I guess we'll just let this play for a while. Well, that's enough. Now I'm going to show you how to actually install the super note blocks, the whole data pack, because I never really mentioned this, but this is technically vanilla Minecraft. It's not like a mod, it's a data pack, and I'm going to show you how to install it. So first of all, this is only for Java Edition, it's not for Bedrock Edition. But once you're in your world list, you select the world that you want to add it to, then click Edit Open World folder. Then it'll bring you to a folder like this. Then go in Data Packs, and there might be stuff here. It doesn't really matter if there is. So once you download the data pack from the description, you don't have to unzip it or look inside of it or anything like that. You just drag it to this folder, and then it'll add a zip file of the folder. And then back in game, you can leave this menu and go into the world. And you don't need a resource pack or anything. You can just go straight into, actually, no, not Super Note Block. You can just, get straight into that. You'll see it unlocks the recipe. You can get everything you need and craft the Super Note. Well, actually, I need more. And craft the Super Note Block. I can place it down and start, adding notes and everything. Also, I never mentioned this. You can run, if you're like an operator, have commands enabled, you can run /function super note block, super note blocks : give /note block like this, and it will, and you can just get the note block if you want to just give it to you with a command and not have to craft it, and you just get the same thing you would craft. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Wait, what's this one?